Next up on the Cosmic News Network, First Contact with Joshua Pope.
Good morning, Earthlings. Good. How you doing today? Good. How you doing today? Welcome to First Contact Radio. Welcome to First Contact Radio. To talk about all these things I'm talking about is because in life, everything is energy. Every single thing that's out there.
Yo, it's First Contact with Joshua Pope. He's the man on the mic, just in case you didn't know it. Covering news from all around the globe, from the weather and space to UFOs. We'll talk politics and make you open your eyes. Conspiracy theories and government lies. We'll dig it all up and try to find the proof. Cause the times is the man, the truth. It's time.
First Contact Radio. We have arrived. First Contact Radio. We have arrived. First Contact Radio.
It's time to the man,
First Contact Radio. We have arrived. First Contact Radio.
It's time to demand the truth.
Good morning, Earthlings. Welcome back to First Contact Radio. Today's Friday. We've made it to the end of yet another week. I know that I say that each and every week, but it's true. We make it. We make it to the end of the week, and that's a good thing, right? Right. So today is the 19th of February 2016. We can look right here. We see that our moon sign made a change last night, or our sun sign, excuse me. Our sun sign made a change. It went from Pisces, from Aquarius, into Pisces at 11:34 p.m. last night. That is where we're now going to be for the next month, in Pisces. So, what is Pisces? Pisces is a water sign. Right here in the tarot cards, Pisces is a card of the moon. Okay, so what we have here is representation or a picture. Remember, tarot is just pictures, that's all. Pictures that represent something. Think of the phrase, a picture is worth 1,000 words. Ding, 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 here we go. We got a picture. So we have water. So out of the fluid of life, out of the water of life, comes life. And we see that we have the crab, the lobster with the shell, the hard shell to protect itself from the emotions, protect itself from all of the emotions that are part of the world of the water. Okay, and then as this creature comes out, we see the dog, we see the wolf, we see the dog, two different animals, the same type of animal. One is domesticated, one is natural. It's just a process of how things evolve. And then we have the two pillars. The pillars are what is known all the way up to here, and then past the pillar is what is unknown. And that is where the idea of faith comes in, because as you walk into the unknown, sometimes you're unaware what is out there for you. And so if you have the faith to recall that there is light everywhere, that we all come out of this water is the divinity of life, and we're connected to it all, then we trust as we move into the future, past what we know, into the unknown. We are moving through with a process of faith because we understand all things are connected. All divinity is part of this fluid, all this water. Nothing is immune from it. And so that's what is implied in that idea. Our moon sign at the present moment is a water sign as well, and that is Cancer. Tarot card representing Cancer is the Chariot. Again, a vehicle with a person in it, a male, representing the conscious mind, traveling through this world of water, and armor on. Armor again to protect itself from all of the emotions. Sometimes we have to go to battle with the emotions. So we have the armor there to protect itself. And then also the two Sphinx, one black, one white, to show that opposites of life move us forward. We're caught up in this world of duality. And oftentimes we need to find a way through that duality. And the way through it is we acknowledge that spirit flows through us. And that if we allow spirit to move us through, we move through without any challenges or issues, because we're able to move through the duality of life without getting caught up in one side or the other. And as we go through life, we see that that's the issues that we're dealing with. We get caught up on one extreme, and then we go to the other extreme. And oftentimes finding that balance between the two is the best way to go, because when you go to one extreme, you're at an extreme. When you go to the other extreme, you're still at an extreme. The only way to get away from the extremes is to merge together both aspects and take a little bit of one side and take a little bit of the other side, and you merge them together. You're walking the middle path. And here we have strength, and this is the card of Leo. The reason I bring this up is this is where we are headed. Okay, Leo is all about fire. It's the moon sign we're moving into later tonight, 8:17 p.m., and we will be there for the rest of this weekend, the 20th and the 21st, right here, just before the full moon, and we'll actually be there as we go into the full moon on Monday. Okay, so we have a fire sign coming up over the weekend. But right now, we're still dealing with water and water. We've got today, so let's not jump ahead of ourselves because day is just getting going for many of us here in the United States of America. Some of the aspects we're looking at, a couple of them have already occurred. Wounded healer, Chiron. There's nice positive way, so our feelings and our healing all kind of connected together. What is it inside of ourselves we need to find healing with? Jupiter expanded our feelings, our realm of feelings out a little bit. And then at 8:36 a.m. in about just a little more than 30 minutes, 35 minutes from now, we have Mars, which is going to come in and energize the situation, energize our emotions. And we're going to be left with these energized emotions all the way until this evening. And we go void, of course, at 8:36. Okay, so it's the last aspect. So if we go over here, okay, we got the moon sign right here, and it's at its last aspect before it goes into the next sign, and that will be Leo. So we're going to feel some of the effects coming up of Leo, but we're not quite going to be there yet. So we've got this void of course period. Okay, void of course is the time in between one moon sign and the next, where we're not necessarily dealing with either one, but we're feeling the effects of both as well, kind of in a void. And then 8:17 p.m., the moon sign does go into Leo, where we are for the weekend with fire and water. So water and water today, a lot of emotions and feelings to deal with as we're out and about in the world. The moon phase is 90% of the way full. On Monday, 10 a.m. or 10:19 a.m., we will be at a full moon. On the Jewish calendar, today is 10 Adar. 10 Adar, and the daily thought for today is Galuk. It is not so much that we need to be taken out of exile, that a Moses can do it. It is that the exile must be taken out of us, for that each one must find Moses within. Let's think about that for a moment. I'll read it again. It is not so much that we need to be taken out of exile that a Moses can do. It is that an exile must be taken out of us. For that, each one must find the Moses within. So what Moses represents is the law. Okay? So we have to use that inner sense of law. Moses receives the law from God. So Moses represents the one who is the lawgiver. And in order to leave exile, or we're not running away, we need to look at the law. We need to look at the law of God to understand what is going on there. And that's something important that we all deal with, understanding that higher divinity that flows through us. On the Dreamspell Oracle 10-tone day, 10-tone is called the planetary tone of manifestation. The symbol or the kin for today is the wind, all about inspiration. The guide is the dog, which is heart. It's about love and loyalty. So we're manifesting inspiration today. Our hidden power is the storm, this energy that we have available to us, gathering, and we decide how we're going to use that. So it's a great strength we have. Our challenge for today is to use our free will, whereas synchronicity is our like-minded energy. The phrase for today is I perfect in order to communicate, producing breath. I seal the output of spirit with the planetary tone of manifestation. I'm guided by the power of heart. We could see where we're at here on the wave spell, the theme of the Skywalker exploration. We've got Saturday, Sunday, and Monday will be last day of this wave spell before we jump off into the next wave spell. The conditions taking place outside in regards to space weather, the sun, the energy around us. We have notification magnetic explosion on the sun. Okay, solar wind currently at 534.1 kilometers per second. That's up a bit from 400 range we usually see. Planetary K index is a 3. Could get up to that 5 over the weekend. Large corona hole still here on the bottom. The one up here in the upper left, look how much this has opened up. It's really opened up indeed. We will have wind coming from there because they are both turning to the point where they will be facing our direction. The holes will be facing our direction. M-class flare possibility down to 1%. X-class also down to 1%. Geomagnetic storm activity is decreasing, going from 40 to 25, the mid-latitudes. Upper latitudes from 50 down to 30. And finally, looking up at the sky tonight, if you got the moon over to the right now will be Gemini. So we want to look to the right of the moon and up. There we'll see the twins, Castor and Pollux. Actually, directly right to the moon will be the knee. Okay, we got the knee here to the right. And in between where that knee is and the moon is, if we just kind of look at that lower space between it, we got Procyon. So it says this evening, the waxing gibbous moon shines below Castor and Pollux. They don't quite point to it, yet keep an eye on them as they stay up late. The moon creeps ever eastward against the stars, the very late tonight. It aligns with them perfectly. All right, so there you go. That's our cosmic weather. So we have lots of water around us. Not water as in rain, but sometimes it could be that manifests in such a way. But water as in that fluid of life, that spiritual water that's coming through us. A good reminder in the water that we are all having this flow of water through us. We have fire, we have water, we have air. And all we're doing is we're working with energy. That's why I use the phrase, I say it often, everything is energy. Because all the energy is moving around us and it flows through us. We are part of this energy. We cannot not be a part of it. And so the more that we learn to operate within this field of energy, the better off we can be. Okay? So there you go. That's our cosmic weather. UFO news is up next.
This is the UFO News with Joshua Poet.
All right, Dirk, thank you very much. Today I've got 5 stories for you. The first story here takes us to Brazil. Brazil actor sees a UFO from his private jet over Brazil. There's what he saw. Okay. This shows a UFO in the sky while a Brazilian actor was flying on his private flight from Rio de Janeiro to Campinas, Brazil. There's nothing on the radar, but the visual was confirmed for more than 22 minutes. It was recorded on back in 2015 in January, but just released a few weeks ago because the actor was working on a soap opera and was afraid that releasing the video could get him fired. Such sightings have happened to many jet passengers worldwide, including U.S. President Ronald Reagan, who stated on record that he saw UFOs 2 times while in his private jet. Both times he had the pilot change course to follow, which was futile. Okay, here's the actor right there. You can watch the interview, see what he has to say about it. But this is what was seen. Okay. Bizarre balls of light seen over several different areas in the UK. Okay, here we go. These are the balls of light up there. Several different people reportedly spotted mysterious craft, with some witnesses captured on the event on their cameras. In one of the videos, a cluster of mysterious bright objects appears to float in the sky over Kent. It has since sparked UFO rumors among sky observers. Jake Harvey recorded the video and uploaded to Twitter. The footage apparently shows the sky over Folkestone. The strange aerial things were also posted in nearby Hythe. Many online viewers have suggested that they were flares from military ranges nearby at Hythe and Lind. However, MOD confirmed that no activity was there at the time of the sightings. Kent Identified Flying Objects Research Group spokesman issued a statement saying that the coastlines in East Kent and South Kent are known as UFO hotbeds. The spokesman further said that the towns in these areas have been in a big number of UFO sightings on a seemingly constant basis. People are reporting UFO sightings over the Thames estuary and English Channel continuously. The spokesman added that the reports have increased dramatically over the years. It's very interesting. They seem to be moving quite quickly. There, what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them, looks like. Okay, quite interesting and fascinating. The link's available firstcontactradio.com. Here we have another set of bizarre and colorful UFOs that morph into different shapes and colors, this time over New Hampshire. This happened February 14th, 2016. The video was shot in Salem, pointing roughly 175 degrees towards Methuen, Massachusetts. Okay, alright. Well, I'm just going to skip on from there because it's got a silly commercial, and I don't want to deal with a silly commercial. The link's available. You can check it out. Not the commercial, but the UFO. Alright, amazing UFO story emerges from Florida from 50 years ago. Southwest Florida. Is true life stranger than fiction when it comes to UFOs? Well, meet some Florida men who have a story to tell, one that changed the way they see the skies forever. On the X-Files, agents Scully and Mulder always seem to find the mystery, but these two Floridians say that in the late 60s the mysteries found them. Bill Schroeder and his cousin Dennis Forrest were both in the military, stationed in South Florida during the Cold War with Russia. Our primary responsibility was the defense of South Florida from targets. We routinely had Russian Bear bombers flying alongside the coast, and our job was to keep an eye on them, and if anything penetrated airspace, to shoot them down, says Schroeder. And they both remember the night that they say America's sensitive military equipment packed up on something zooming through the skies. They had several unidentified flying objects. They didn't know what they were, and all they knew was they were going excess of 5,000 miles an hour, said Forrest. It was clear they were flying a grid pattern. The amazing thing about it was they were doing perfect right-angle turns at almost supersonic speed, which that immediately caught my eye because of something I had never seen before. I tracked every kind of aircraft and helicopter and everything that lands in the sky that I'd probably seen. I'd never seen anything with the capability of doing that, says Schroeder. They've shared their experience with the online group MUFON, which tells Fox 4 by phone that the cousins' story of many. Florida has a plethora of case files. We roughly reach to about 40 to 50 cases a month. Typically, we are number 2 in the country for reports. At least one memorable report came from numerous people in Cape Coral. They described it as completely silent with the lights on, and they saw these large stadium-like lights that were pointed down, traveling along the skyline of Cape Coral. Another report came from Fort Myers, who said that he was injured in a UFO encounter. In the Everglades, this thick beam of light came out, hit him in the forehead, where it was described as a sledgehammer. He was knocked out. In fact, he was knocked out for 24 hours, according to doctors. The night of their experiences, the cousins say the Air Force sent supersonic fighters to intercept what was flying through the sky, but say that the jets found nothing, leaving a sense of bewilderment and awe back at the Battle Control Center of the BBC. I was an 18-year-old kid, and I stood behind the BBC with a smile on my face, looking up at the sky, knowing that I was in one of the biggest secrets in history. For the rest of my life, I watched the sky at night. They're not surprised. Their experience has never been confirmed by the military. It's one of those great mysteries I don't think the government will ever disclose personally, says Schroeder, and they wonder about the possibility of a return visit from UFOs. I'll keep waiting for them to pick me up because I'd be gone. Gone and perhaps finally proving the truth is out there. Okay? And here's a link to MUFON if you have an experience you'd like to share with them. And finally, one more story, UFO related today. Weekend UFO Festival in Argentina. Thousands of people have come to Capita del Monte in Argentina to take part of the annual International Alien Festival. The weekend festival in Cordoba province includes alien costume contests, a parade of neon lights, and famous characters from Star Wars movie and alien-related shops. Workshops regarding extraterrestrial stuff are held near a local hill that is believed to be the place where the UFO sighting reportedly took place 30 years ago. The strange event, according to general belief, left a huge blurring mark on the grass of the hill. It also helps flourish the alien tourism of the town. A visitor from Chile, Leonardo Fuentes, thinks that people come to this place not just for tourism, but more about the energy and all that is seen. The festival, which is now in its 4th year, has become famous among tourists, especially alien enthusiasts worldwide, because of the infamous UFO sighting 3 decades ago in the area. One of the visited sites during the weekend is the Untorico Hill, known as the country's magic mountain. Many people believe that there's a presence of energy in the place, credited for UFO sightings. Others believe that it is a door to other dimensions. There you go. UFO news for today. That is it. I'll be back, and then we're going to get into the Nag Hammadi. Stay tuned.
Come into our circle, Great Spirit. Fill our souls with peace.
Great Spirit, send down your love, send down your love.
Thank you, Great Spirit. It's one of my favorite songs. I think I've told you this before, probably once or 100 times. Wrote that song coming back from a visit for Chaco Canyon. I was out there for 3 days camping with friends. Had some great experiences out there, some great meditations. Had a couple of interesting visions and experiences. And I came home, sat down at my desk, and I heard the whole song just started playing in my head. And there was a voice there that kind of said, "This one's yours. Write it down." So I did, and didn't know what to do with it. Recorded it just the way that I heard it in my head, and that's been it. And that's been it. Very simple, but it's one of my favorites. So the Nag Hammadi Library, I really enjoy and have enjoyed studying through this. I've spent a great deal of time reading through all of the different codices here, following the investigation from the Nag Hammadi to other books from the Apocrypha, which we will get into in due time. And I really find that this book and the codices that come from this library really do answer some very important questions. Because to me, it's important to know where we come from. It's important to know what is taking place on this earth in relation to where we come from. And having a book, the Bible, that tells a story of a being that we find out through the Nag Hammadi is actually a fallen being really puts things in perspective, and it gives you a different way to look at the Bible. Because the Old Testament is a combination of stories that are about this being, this fallen being, versus the Almighty, the Father of all things. And there's a difference. And so when we understand that difference, I find for myself personally, it really helps me to understand a great deal more of what's going on. It helps me to look at things differently, like the Catholic Church, for example, and you see what the Catholic Church teaches and studies, and many times you hear the idea that the Catholic Church, the God of the Catholic Church is the devil. And I never really fully understood that, but having read through the Nag Hammadi and understand from story to story, I understand that that's really the case, because the Catholic Church is telling you the biblical story of Yahweh and how Yahweh is the one who is involved with this particular journey that we're on. But Yeshua, Jesus, doesn't use the name Yahweh. He calls God the Father, because that's who God is. God's the Father. It's this energy that flows forth, the Mother, the Father, the Christ. So it's very different. It really brings into perspective something very important that I think we need to know. I'd rather know who and where we're from rather than be lied to and not know. And so going from that place, as I look through, I start to look at, okay, what's the difference then between Christianity and Catholicism? Because they're two different things. I know that sometimes they get lumped together, but should they really be lumped together? Because Christianity looks and understands and follows Jesus. Doesn't talk about Yahweh. Sometimes Christianity wants to lump Yahweh and Jesus together as if they're the same being, and that's not the case, and we've seen over and over. So there is confusion from Catholicism to Christianity, and it's important that I think we get clear on this, because we want to understand who are the beings that we're listening to. Is Yahweh the fallen one? Is he all bad? No. We really weren't and haven't been led to believe that Yahweh was bad through all of this, or Yaldabaoth, or Jehovah, whatever name is assigned to him. We really aren't led to believe he's all bad. He's just ignorant. And he's ignorant because after he came into life, after he was brought forth by Sophia, she cast him out. And in casting him out, he was not made aware of all of the glories of divinity that flowed through him. So partly his ignorance came because of the ignorance of his mother, who did not want to do things the right way. And then once we get past that ignorance, now we get into the world of arrogance. So Yaldabaoth was ignorant, And then he was arrogant because once he found out what the truth was, he didn't want to know because he was jealous, didn't want to feel that his power was going to have to be given up to someone above him because he didn't understand the nature of what that meant. But when we read about what was poured into Adam in the creation, they put all of the goodness. So there was goodness inherent within that was put into the creature. But still, the creature, the human, still does have faults and failings and things that we're very much aware of because the creature that made him was ignorant. So it all plays a big part. It helps us to understand. It also helps me to understand through this that we weren't told the truth about original sin because we're led to believe that original sin happened in the Garden of Eden when Adam and Eve ate the apple, and that's not where original sin occurred. Original sin occurred between Sophia and Yaldabaoth. Original sin occurred before the reality of humankind here on earth came into existence. And so if we look at that and understand that, it then puts into perspective what Yeshua's mission was. To help to heal Yaldabaoth, to help to heal Sophia, and help mankind, humankind, open their eyes to understanding the divinity that flowed through them, because that wasn't what they were taught by the one who created them. So there's a whole lot to this story. And some may think it's blasphemy to say, and how could you say that Yahweh or Yaldabaoth is the fallen one? Well, that's what Yeshua is saying. I'm not saying it. I am now, but Yeshua, Jesus, is the one who's telling these stories over and over and over again. So it's not like it's something that we shouldn't understand. It's a very big part of the puzzle. The blasphemy is that we don't truly understand that, and by being led to believe that Yaldabaoth is the one, that we turn our attention away from the Father, from the Mother, from the Christ. That's the true blasphemy of all of this. And so we need to turn our attention back to who is that creative source that flows through us. And in my opinion, that's what the Non-Commodity Library does, and that's what these books of the Apocrypha do, and that is the reason why they were discluded from the Bible. Because the Bible, though the stories that were written down were stories that were inspired by God, the Bible stories were put together by men who had an agenda. Remember, when Jesus was alive, Yeshua, we had the Philistines, we had the Sadducees, the Pharisees, and these were groups of men that were opposed to what Yeshua was about. And so they're not going to come out and later want to suddenly put all the information out, because as we've been told, they killed Yeshua. They attempted to put him on a cross and get rid of him. Do you think that after they got rid of him, they said, now let's take all of the words he said and put them out for the world to hear? Probably not. You know, history belongs to the winners is a story or a phrase we've heard often. And in this case, that's probably exactly what happened. Once they did their part to get rid of him, they probably then struck from the record things that he said, and therefore his wisdom had to go underground. And the teachings that he did had to go underground because otherwise they'd be destroyed. So we have a big problem here. Also notice that you never hear Yeshua referred to God as anything other than the Father or the Mother. Abba doesn't call him Yahweh, doesn't call him Jehovah, doesn't call him Yaldabaoth. That's not who he refers to, because Yeshua understands that there is a difference. And so we should also understand that difference, especially if we're going to live in this world and claim that we are trying to connect to that ultimate source. We can't connect to it if we don't know it's there. But now, through these wonderful books that were discovered in 1945, we know what exists. So today, I'm going to jump over here to the 3 Steles of Seth. I think we'll be able to get through this today. The 3 Steles of Seth. The revelation of Dostotheos about the 3 Steles of Seth, father of the living and unshakable wraith. He remembered what he saw, understood, and read, and gave it to the chosen, just as it is written there. Often I have joined in glorifying with the powers, and I was considered worthy by the immeasurable majesties. The steles are as follows. The first stele of Seth. I praise you, Father Guradamus, I, your son Akama Seth, whom you produced without generation for the praise of our God. I am your son, and you are my mind, O my Father. I have sown and produced, but you have seen the majesties and stood endlessly. I praise you, Father. Praise me, Father, because of you I am. Because of God you are. Because of you I am with him, you are light, and you see light. You have revealed light. You are a mithril theus. You are my mithril theus. I praise you as God. I praise your divinity. Great is the good one, self-conceited, who stood, the God who was first to stand. You came in goodness, you appeared, and you revealed goodness. I shall speak your name. You are a primary name. You are unborn and have appeared to reveal the eternal. You are who is, so you have revealed those who really are. You are uttered by a voice, but by mind you are glorified. You are powerful everywhere, so the world of senses also knows you because of you and your seed. You are merciful and from another race, and it is placed over another race. Now you are from another race, and it is placed over another race. You are from another race. You are different. You are merciful. You are eternal. You are placed over a race. You made all these increase because of my seed, and you know it placed in generation. But they are from other races. They are different. They are placed over other races, and they are placed in life. You are a mithril theus. I praise its power given to you. You who made the masculinities that really are 3 times male, who were divided into 5, who were given to us in triple power, who were conceived without generation, who came forth from the superior, and for the inferior entered the midst. You are a parent through a parent, a word from a command. We praise you, triple male. You have unified all through them. You have empowered us. You came into being from one you left. You have come to one. You have saved. You have saved. You have saved us, you who crowned and crown. We praise you eternally. We praise you, we who are saved, who are perfect beings, who are perfect because of you, who have become perfect with you. You who are complete, who are perfect through all of these, who are everywhere similar, triple male. You have stood, you were the first to stand, you have been divided everywhere, you have remained one. Whomever you wished, you have saved, and you wished that all who are worthy be saved. You are perfect, you are perfect, you are perfect. The second stele of Seth. Great is the first eternal realm, male virgin Barbello, the first glory of the invisible Father. You who are called perfect first saw that the one who really pre-exists is not. From that one and through it you have come into being first and forever. You who are non-existent from one, the indivisible triple power. You are a triple power. You are a great one from a pure one. You are a superior one, first shadow of the Holy Father, light from light. We praise you, maker of perfection, donor of eternal realms. You saw that those who are eternal are from a shadow. You have conferred multiplicity, and you have found and remained one, while still conferring multiplicity through division. You are a threefold replication. Truly, you are replicated 3 times. You are one of the one, and you are from its shadow. You are hidden in our world of knowledge, and know that those who are the one, are from shadow, and they are yours in your heart. Because of them you made the eternal be and the divinity live. You made knowledge good and blessedness. You made the shadows flowing from the one. You made one in understanding. You made another in creation. You made the equal to be unequal and similar and different. You have empowered in generation and formation by that which is to others in generation. You have given these strength hidden in the heart, and you came forth to them and from them. You are divided amongst them and became a great male, first appearing mind. Father God, divine child, maker of multiplicity, in dividing all those who really are, you reveal to them all a word. You possess them all without birth, eternally, imperishably. Because of your salvation has come to us, from you comes salvation. You are wisdom, you are knowledge, you are truth. Because of you is life from your life. Because of you is mind from your mind. You are mind, you are a world of power. You are a triple power and a threefold replication. Truly, you are replicated 3 times, the eternal realm of eternal realms. You alone see purely the first undying unborn ones and the first divisions as you were divided. Unify us as you were unified. Teach us what you see. Give us strength so that we may be saved to eternal life. We are a shadow of you as you are a shadow of that first pre-existent one. Hear us first, we are eternal. Hear us as perfect beings. You are the eternal realm of eternal realms, the all-perfect one who is established. You have heard, you have heard. You have saved, you have saved. We give thanks, we praise always, we shall glorify you. The third Stele of Seth. We rejoice, we rejoice, we rejoice. We saw what really pre-exists and that it really is, and is the first eternal one. You, unborn, from you come the eternal ones in the eternal realms, the all-perfect ones who are established and the perfect beings. We praise you, non-being reality before realities, first being before beings, Father of divinity and life, creator of mind, donor of goodness, donor of blessedness. We all praise you, you who know with glorifying praise you, because of whom all of these are, who know yourself through yourself alone. There was nothing active prior to you. You are spirit alone and living. You know the one, that we cannot speak of this one which is yours everywhere. Your light enlightens us. Command us to see you so that we may be saved. Knowledge of you is our salvation. Command. If you command, we have been saved. Truly, we are saved. We have seen you through mind. You are all these, and save them all. You who will not be saved, nor have been saved by them, you have commanded us. You are one. You are one, as one might tell you. You are one. You are a single living spirit. How shall we give you a name? We have none. You are their existence. You are their life. You are their mind. In you they rejoice. You ordered them saved through your word, the single glory at the fore. O hidden one, blessed Senanon, who conceived himself, Asinius, Mephius, Option, Elamon, the great power, Immunior, Nibarius, Candiphorus, Aphrodon, Diphaneus, you who are my Armadon, you generator of powers, Theneleus, Anthelius, you are in you, you are before you, in you, and after you none have come to act. How shall we praise you? We cannot, but we thank you, we who are inferior. For you commanded us, you who are superior, and glorify you as best as we can. We praise you because we are saved, and we always glorify you. Now we shall glorify you that we be saved to eternal salvation. We have praised you, for we can. We have been saved. You always wished us to do it. We have done it. Whoever remembers these and always glorifies will be perfect among the perfect and free of suffering beyond all things. They all praise these individually and collectively, and afterward they will be silent. As assigned, they ascend. After silence, they descend from the third. They praise the second, and afterward the first. The way of the ascent is the way of the descent. So understand, as those who are alive, that you have succeeded. You have taught yourself about things infinite. Marvel at the truth within them and at the revelation. The 3 Steles of Seth. This book belongs to the Fatherhood. It is the Son who wrote it. Bless me, O Father. I bless you, O Father, in peace. Amen. Okay, there you go. The 3 Steles of Seth. You know what I like to do to continue my study and further the study on this? After reading this, and going through what I did as I was first going through. Whenever I'd come upon a word that I didn't understand, I'd stop reading and I'd go and I'd look up that word. So when it came to aeon or pleroma, whatever the words were, I'd look them up, I'd understand them, and I'd go back and reread, and then I'd have a different understanding because I understood now the meaning of that word. And then after reading through everything, sometimes I try to graph it out, sketch it out and see if I understand the hierarchy that it's talking about. And that's how I've come to see from text to text, from codice to codice, this same hierarchy that's being told. And that was one of the things that stood out to me. I'll then also do like a Google search. And if you just search in this particular case, the three Steles of Seth, you'll come up with commentaries and research others have done on this particular text. And I'll read further. And in doing so, I'll get a deeper understanding. So this is something that can be done for each and every one of these codices that are here. There's a tremendous amount of work and research that has been done by wonderful researchers out in the world. And as you go through and you read and you look and see what's out there, you'll be amazed to see how others have gone and studied this in such intricate ways and really helped to bring this understanding to light. So these are some of the ways that I go about learning this and remembering this and studying this. And I think if you apply some of those, you probably already are. So I might not be telling you anything you already don't know. But in doing in that manner, there's a tremendous amount of information to be gained from here. And I think that this is really one of the most important series of books and information we have, because we've heard the story over and over about Jesus, Yeshua, and the resurrection, but we don't often hear what occurred after the resurrection. It's like going to a movie and having the whole buildup of something that's going to happen at the end, and then when you get to the end, it just sort of cuts off. It doesn't really go into telling you about that, because all of these stories that we're reading are stories that are coming forth, especially the ones from Yeshua, after the resurrection. The secret apocryphon of John was after he had risen. So we need to understand what all that is, and you put it in perspective, and you see that this is important. This is important to understand what was discovered and what is learned after the resurrection, because we've certainly spent time learning the story before, so we should know the after part as well, because that's where the true wisdom was really revealed to all of humankind, by seeing that Yeshua took this body, the beast, the creature, and raised it up to divinity by simply allowing the divinity within to emanate forth, shine forth into light, to let that light within shine, to not put a bushel basket over the light and hide it, but let that light of the Christ shine. And that's something that's available to each and every one of us, which is the beauty of all of this, because it's not just talking about something that we can't do, but it's talking about something that we are, and all we have to do is connect with. And that's it. So remember, there's a saying Yeshua had, that you must be like a child to enter the kingdom of heaven. So you need to just look at things in a very simplistic manner. Sometimes we look at things in a very overcomplicated manner, and we miss what's going on because we fool ourselves, we trick ourselves into thinking it has to be so complicated. But all we have to do is be like a child to enter the kingdom. We need to be in our innocence. We need to simply open our mind to understand, and in doing so, all is revealed to us in the same way things are revealed to children. Okay? So there you have it. That is the Nag-Hammadi for this week. Here's our channeled message from today. It comes to us from Quan Yin. Here we go.
Your Divine Nature, Quan Yin, February 18th, 2016. Channeled by Daniel Scranton. It is I, Quan Yin. So as you are making your way into the higher frequencies, you are also placing yourselves in the perfect position to understand your true nature. You have been denying yourselves the truth of who you are in many elaborate ways, but there is no stopping the revelation of the truth to yourselves. The truth I am speaking of is that you are divine beings, exploring time and space in physical form. In the revelation of this truth, it is necessary for you to see and experience its opposite in as many ways as possible. It is as if you are giving yourselves one last go-round as mortals. You are being given the opportunity to explore the limited nature of humanity as you prepare for the biggest shift in consciousness that is possible. So if you feel that you are moving further and further away from the full knowing of yourselves as divine beings, then it just so happens that you are right on track. It is necessary for you to explore all aspects of limitation and separation in order to make the transition, in order to know yourselves fully. So I suggest that you embrace your humanity and that you get a taste of limitation one last time, while also holding the knowing in your consciousness that this experience is temporary, as your unlimited divine nature blossoms within you and becomes fully embedded into the knowing of who you are. I am Quan Yin, and I hold you in my heart.
Very nice. Great message. You know what comes to mind as I hear this one is the idea of you don't know what you've got till it's gone. Because sometimes in that what's gone moment we learn more, don't we? We have a different appreciation about something because it's no longer there. So by experiencing life in the way that we do, where we experience the opposites, where we experience the dualities, it gives us a chance to see things from another perspective. Because oftentimes we get caught up in our own perspectives and we get lost. And in that perspective, in that one-sided perspective, we don't always see what's going on. If we look at the world today, we see a lot of these examples, don't we? We have one race and other race fighting with each other. We see this all the time. And where the most learning comes from is when somebody is able to look at things from the perspective of that other race and understand what they're going through and vice versa. And if we simply did this, it's called compassion, having compassion what the other is going through. Because everyone is going through a different experience than the other group is going through. And if we understand what their experience is and can have compassion for it, we can help to solve the problems that are going on with all of us because we understand what someone's going through. And we find a way to fix it because we realize even though there is some difference, there is a lot more similarities that exist. And by coming together to understand those similarities, we find ourselves growing together and evolving in different ways. So that I think is the important part, and that just what it reminded me of as I was hearing that message, that we need to be able to embrace all that's going on in our life and understand it's teaching us something. And once we learn what it's teaching us, then we move on to the next lesson. Because what if life truly is like a classroom? What if coming down here truly is a classroom? And we stick with the lesson until we learn it. Like you go to school, and that's what we're doing. We have all of these lessons, and we stay with it until we learn the lesson, and then we move on to the next lesson. And then when we learn that lesson, we move on to the next lesson. And we don't move on until we learn the lessons. And sometimes learning those lessons means looking at things from the other perspective. With tarot card, the Hangman, flipping our perspective around, seeing things different. So we're not just stuck in our own perception. Remember, when we're looking at something and we're looking at things from different perspectives, we may describe it different ways, but we're all looking at the same thing. So sometimes it's necessary to wonder, what is somebody else seeing from their perspective? How can I look at that which I'm trying to understand from that perspective to understand, and vice versa? And as we do, wonderful things happen, and we see it through life all the time when we take that opportunity to do that. And I think that's really awesome. Amazing what humans can do, how we can rise above our situation and really, you know, find that divinity within us and just allow it to shine. So that brings us to our meditation for today. So close your eyes, take a deep breath, and exhale. Take another deep breath and exhale again. And one more breath. Hold it and exhale. And let's imagine that we are just floating in space, and that all of the world and reality around us is simply energy around us. And as we contemplate the things around us, the energy around us, we understand that this energy can be anything we want it to be, simply by using our imagination. And as we imagine this source of energy that flows through all things, we start to understand the intelligence, the consciousness of this energy. And we marvel at how our imagination is able to mold and shape this energy in our own personal lives, and how each and every individual can do exactly the same thing. So let's just imagine this energy flowing through our being. And let's imagine the energy centers of our body activated. These are chakras down the middle of the body. And we'll start at the chakra at the crown, the top of the head, and just imagine this light pouring into it from the cosmos. And imagine this energy flowing into the crown chakra, and imagine the color violet. And then see that energy flowing down from that crown chakra further down the middle of the body, down to the third eye, right between the eyebrows, where the color changes from violet to indigo. And this third eye is how we see through dimensions of space and time. And we let the energy move down further, and it moves down to our throat, and there the color turns blue. The throat chakra, how we communicate to the world, how we express into the world, the air. And this energy flows down into our heart chakra, and there we imagine the color green, the center of love, where we simply allow this love flowing through us to shine and color all things with love. And the energy continues to move down our center of our being, down to the chakra just below the rib cage, and there we imagine the color yellow. This is our area of the mental, the mind. And the energy moves down further yet, down to the belly button. There we see the color orange in the chakra of all of our emotions and feelings. And finally the energy moves down into the root chakra, the bottom of our spine. We see the color red, and that energy continues down into the earth. And there we are, a child of energy, in the midst of energy coming from the cosmos and the earth. And just imagine, just sit with that energy for a moment and feel it flowing through your being. See the multicoloredness of this energy, colored by the various chakras. Feel the way that this energy interacts with all the cells of your being. Take another breath, inhale. Imagine all of the muck and the energy that needs to clear out being exhaled out now, and exhale it into the world, just imagining that as it exhales out, it transforms back into love, into the whole of all of the energy around us. And let's now see ourselves moving along the path of life, fully connected, all our energy and chakras on. And let's just imagine ourselves shining the light that flows through us out into the world. And as we do so, we realize It is not really an effort we need to make. We simply just allow the energy to flow through us. And because of the brilliance of the light of this energy, it just shines on its own accord. And so we allow this light to shine, and as it does, we see individuals along the path reacting to this light. Reacting to the light by feeling and being inspired by its presence. And one by one we see those individuals shining bright the light within them. And they in turn move through light and share that light with others. And so let's imagine a room completely dark, and then one candle is lit, and then a second candle, and then a third candle. And one by one, as candles and lights come on, the darkness dissipates, and the entire place is filled with light. So let's just imagine this world, this earth plane, shining bright with light from all of the individuals here. And in that, let's just imagine the peace, the oneness that we all feel. Oneness in being connected to the divine source. The river of life that flows effortlessly and endlessly through each and every one. So let the subconscious mind continue on the journey, shining light. And let's bring the conscious mind back to the present moment on the count of 3. 3, coming back to the present moment filled with confidence. 2, coming back to the present moment filled with faith. Only 1, coming back to the present moment happy, healthy, and whole. Happy, healthy, and whole. Take another deep breath. Exhale, and open your eyes. That's it, my friends. Thank you for being here this week. The links are available at First Contact Radio for the stories we've done, the Nag Hammadi Library codices that we read. Email address firstcontactradio@yahoo.com. Website firstcontactradio.com. You can find me at Facebook. You can find me at YouTube. I don't hide. I'm available. So let me know your thoughts if you have any on any of this. Otherwise, have an awesome weekend. I love you. Keep loving each other, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace. I'm out of here.